This week on The Real Housewives of New York.
Then I don't need to explain it to you.
Exactly. You don't need to explain to me. I'm the teacher, you're the student.
No,
You can't
thank you.
teach me
You know what? You seem to thrive off being a bully, and it needs to end.
Yo, what is up, everybody? Welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about the new episode of The Real Housewives of New York City, Season 15, Episode 11. Let's get right into it. Okay, surprisingly, we actually have a lot to talk about when it comes to this episode of New York. So, the episode begins with the ladies going to the airport because they're going on their cast trip to Puerto Rico. Super exciting. Raquel is feeling excited, yet a little anxious because for her, it's not all going to be about just vacationing. It's also going to be a trip where she's going to go be with her mom. The tension going into the trip is that Erin is going around telling people that Ubah is coming for her, and Ubah is not happy about that at all. But they're just hoping that they're going to be able to have some fun. So they get on the plane and they arrive. As soon as they arrive, they can instantly feel the different temperature as the one that's in New York. When they're on the van to go from the airport to the hotel, Raquel tells them that they will be actually in a villa. It's gonna have 6 rooms. Her and Jenna will have the master, but that's because they're sharing. However, someone else is going to need to share. 2 people are going to need to share. Sai says that she would share. So the question is, who wants to share with Sai? No one wants to, though. No one's raising their hand. Brynn says that for her, she's willing to take the worst room as long as she can be by herself. And then she says, Rebecca, you can share with Sai, which Rebecca doesn't like. She doesn't voice her objection because she doesn't want to give Brynn a reaction, but she's thinking like, who the hell is she to tell people who needs to share? I also loved listening to the workers of the villa talk to each other in Spanish when the women were arriving. The guy basically said that he didn't know who these people were. He didn't know what the show was. The villa was very nice, but as soon as they get in there, they're all running, like they're running to save their lives to see the rooms. Meanwhile, Ubah is chilling. She's eating. She's sitting outside. She made a funny comment saying, like, why are these 40-year-old women running like immigrants who just arrived to the country? I love Ubah. But because she wasn't looking for the rooms, when Brynn saw the quote-unquote worst room that, remember, she had said she would take as long as she didn't have to share, when she saw the room, she decided not to. She didn't want it, so she said Ubah will get it. So then everyone's sort of unpacking. Rebecca tells Erin, I didn't really want to share a room, and Erin says to her, that's why I told you to speak up if you didn't want to. I understand both perspectives on this, actually. I understand Rebecca not wanting to give Brynn a reaction because that would be like giving Brynn what she wants, but I also understand Erin being like, no, like you need to speak up. Okay, so then you guys, Ubah sees the tiny ass room that they left for her, and she takes a good look at it and she's like, yup, I'm going to the hotel. So she's asking like, where is the nearest hotel? She's talking to production. She says, I have way too much money for this. Raquel in her confessional throws some shade though. She says, girl, I've seen your apartment. It's like the size of this room. But you know what? I'm actually sort of with Ubah. Do I think there was a little overreaction by her being like, I have the most money? Yes, that's overreacting. But listen, if you don't like the room, instead of fighting to others, just go tell production you demand a hotel room because this is supposed to be a vacation. They do end up doing a compromise though. Sai will get Ubah's tiny room, and then Erin will share a room with Rebecca so that Ubah can get Erin's room. Ugh, such ridiculous things to fight about. Personally, y'all tell me how y'all feel. I don't mind a small room. What I do mind is sharing, personally. I can with the sharing, but I don't care how small it is, as long as I am by myself. So, Brynn is being obnoxious, as she is all the time. And Rebecca walks in, and Brynn says, are you okay with sharing, Rebecca? Which obviously is a pretty, we know what she's trying to get at. And Becky's like, not really, but I'm just gonna be a bigger person, it's whatever. And then Jenna's like, oh, like, why didn't you want to share? And Rebecca's like, when you have 4 kids, you have to share all the time. And I had to share with Jessel last time as well. Brynn then says, well, it's the same for all of us. It doesn't matter if you have kids or not. And Rebecca says, it's a little different. You'll know when you have them. Brynn then gets offended. Are you serious? Rebecca says, I'm just saying that it's different when you have a bunch of kids in your space. It is. And Brynn says, well, you know what? I'm busy. I'm always busy. And Rebecca says, this isn't about being busy. It's about having kids. Then Jessel walks in. Good thing, because she kind of cut the awkwardness. But she says, has anybody seen my suitcase? The cream one? She then starts to become a little panicked. She's frantically looking everywhere, outside, inside, room by room. The camera is following her and she's losing her mind. She's like, enough, I've got my passport in there, my bag, I need it. Now this is, it actually did make me a little mad because guess where the bag was, y'all? Brynn hid it. And she thinks she's being funny. She thinks she's being cute. She's not. It's just like, ugh, it's not funny at all. Like, and what is it with these pranks? Didn't y'all hide someone's phone last season? Then with, like, enough. Now, Erin then decides to go talk to Ubah. She feels like because she gave her her room, maybe Ubah will, will kind of see this as an olive branch and be a little bit more receptive to talk to her. So they sit down and Ubah says, my love, rumor has it that you've been going around telling people that I'm coming for you. Brynn and Jenna. I understand why Jenna would say it because Sai and I did tell her that we thought you were gaslighting. And then Erin's like, well, let me stop you right there. I don't gaslight. I don't do that. And Ubah's like, you do, but let's just agree to disagree. But my issue really is with you telling Brynn, why didn't you just come to me? Like, we talk all the time. And Erin's like, you know what? You're right. You're 100% right. Next time, I'll just come directly to you. Erin is trying not to really say anything to make things worse. She just wants to, like, own it and move on. Jessel, poor girl, is still looking for her suitcase. Brynn finally tells her where it's at. Again, not funny at all. I would have thrown Brynn in the pool if I were Jessel. They then sit to eat lunch. Things are a little awkward with Brynn and Rebecca. But then Raquel asks Ubah, did you and Erin talk things out? And Ubah's like, yeah. Now, also, guys, keep in mind, Erin is in her room at this point when Raquel asked Ubah if she and Erin were okay. She's not at the table. But Ubah says, yeah, me and Erin are okay. We settled our issue. We just disagreed. We agreed to disagree over her gaslighting me, which I do stand on, but other than that, everything's okay. So what does Brynn do? She gets up. She then goes to straight to Erin's room and tells her, Erin, they're talking ish about you. That whole table's talking ish about you. So Erin goes back and it's like, wow, I just left for a minute and I heard that all y'all are talking bad about me. And Brynn is like, well, I didn't really say that. And she clearly did. She then says, well, Ubah, she was talking bad about you. And she was campaigning people. And Ubah's like, no, don't put words in my mouth. Rebecca also says to Erin, I don't know if she's trying to defend you, Brynn, but she is putting words in Ubah's mouth. Ubah then says that she's not the only one who thinks that Erin is a gaslighter. And then Erin's like, really? Who else thinks I'm a gaslighter? Sai raises her hand and she says, I've seen you do it to many people. You've done it to me, you've done it to Ubah, Raquel, Rebecca. Erin says, how did I gaslight Rebecca? And Sai says, well, you didn't tell her that Brynn was in on the prank. Erin says, well, that's not what gaslighting means. And then she screams and she storms out. Now, do I think Erin's reaction was irrational? I actually don't. But I don't think that her reaction was Ubah and Sai's fault. I think this is solely Brynn. I mean, if someone goes up to you and says, hey, an entire table that you just left is talking ish about you, you're gonna feel some type of way. But anyway, Ubah then goes after Erin outside and tells her to calm down. And it actually, I guess it was okay. It was okay. Because, Erin was pretty upset and Ubah saw that, so she just went to go comfort her. They then all go to the pool. Also, just to show you how malicious this little girl, Brynn, is, Erin was like, she said to Brynn, oh, we let it go. We're okay now. And Brynn's like, oh, you're letting it go even though she's calling you a gaslighter? Okay. Some of them go to the pool, some of them go to the hot tub. So Brynn says to the ladies that she's at the pool with, she's like, y'all, tell me if I'm overreacting, but Rebecca shamed me. She said that I'll know how she feels like when I have kids. And, I'm struggling with that, and that's really insensitive comment. And then Brynn is also trying to say that there's like nothing that a person with children can go through that she herself cannot understand. And that's where I was just like, that is not true. That is not true. That is not true. That is not true. You may feel a way about that comment because of what you're going through. That's valid. But do not sit up here and tell us that you know what it is like to have 4 kids. That you know what a mother of 4 kids goes through, because you don't. It's just like, I am a guy. I will never know exactly and understand what a woman goes through, or even a father will never know what a mother goes through who has to actually carry the child and deliver it. So you cannot say that you understand everything, because you don't. And it's not to shame you or make you feel bad, but it is just the truth. I mean, are we really in a time and place where now objective truth is being like questioned? Like, that is ridiculous. But anyway, it is then much later and they go to a restaurant. So they're all joking about the way Jenna took a nap with sunglasses. They talk about her yard sale, essentially her stoop sale. Sai says that she actually feels like some of the things that she was selling should have probably been a little higher. They're also talking about money and things like that, and eventually Jenna reveals that that Bentley that we thought that she bought was actually just, she was loaning it, which I'm not surprised. Rebecca then says, sorry, not Rebecca, Raquel then says that tomorrow her mom is coming over. There's mixed emotions about that. So they're eating, and then Sai makes a comment to Erin about her room, how small it is, and then Brynn says, I'm sorry I didn't take the small room, I just like don't like to share, but I don't have kids, so I don't know what that's like. And then Erin's like, well, let me explain to you what she meant. What she meant was that when you have kids, they're always like, they always come to bother you in your room, and like, you don't have enough like alone time or like time to sleep. And then Brynn again conflates these things and says, well, I'm busy. I have a puppy and I have a lot of Russian billionaires. Girl, you ain't got no Russian billionaire. It's like Sai in her confessional made me laugh when she said, girl, you live in a 1-bedroom apartment, sweetie. You do not have any billionaires on your roster, okay? But anyway, Brynn says to Rebecca, you said something very shitty to me. And Rebecca says, well, you said many shitty things to me since the day we met. And Brynn says, well, instead of addressing that, you're going to tell me that I don't understand things because I'm not a mom? Explain to me what I don't understand, okay? Because I understand everything. And Rebecca says, oh, well, if you understand everything, then I don't need to explain anything to you. And Brynn says, exactly, I don't need you to explain anything. I'm the teacher. You're the student. Rebecca finally says, you know what? You strive from being a bully, and it's time for you to stop. And that's where the episode ended. Ooh, Rebecca's getting activated, and I'm loving it. I'm definitely on her side when it comes to this, because again, Brynn is childish, she's immature, she likes to poke the bear, poke the bear, poke the bear, and do all the little shit. The other thing with Brynn, dish it but can't take it. If there was if you look at the dictionary, Brynn's gonna be there. You can dish it, but you cannot take it. And again, like I said, her opinion is completely wrong. It is wrong. And again, there's a way you could tell Rebecca, hey, listen, I'm going through things that hurt me. But for you to sit up there and be like, I know exactly what it's like. No, you don't. So stop it with that. And I don't like just her. Y'all, I can't with Brynn. So childish. I mean, hiding someone's suitcase and having them panic for like half an hour and trying to start mess like left and right. Listen, y'all, we need Dorinda Medley. Please come here so you can read Brynn. And then that's another thing. Speaking of reading, it bothers me that people like Jenna, um, maybe even Raquel, but I'll give Raquel sort of a pass because she is new. But let's stick with Jenna. I love Jenna, but Jenna, you know that the things Brynn does are like wrong. Why do y'all just sit there and like let her get away with it? I don't understand that. But anyway, you guys, let me know what your thoughts were about this episode. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you on next time. You have a great one. Bye.